Dear students, today I am taking the revision of the chapter photosynthesis. Here, let us see the question answers of the lesson. Answer the following in yes or no. All parts of green plants carry out photosynthesis. The answer is no, because no is the answer because the root which does not have the green color cannot do it. Then all green parts of a plant carry out photosynthesis. All green parts of the plant, that is true. The question is yes, all green parts of the plant carry out photosynthesis. Yes. Then question number 3. Photosynthesis is the only biological process that releases oxygen into the air. Yes. Out of the 9 types of chlorophyll, chlorophyll A and B are the most abundant. Yes. Too much light destroys chlorophyll. Yes. No transpiration occurs during photosynthesis. No. Transpiration is occurring. We know that the stomata is opening, so that the transpiration also will occur during the photosynthesis. So the statement is false one. Answer is no. During sunlight, the guard cell turn flaccid to open the stomata. When sunlight falls, the guard cell really become turgid. So the statement is no. Let us see the next progress check. You see, write the overall summary of chemical equation of photosynthesis. Page number 71. You see, this is the answer. Overall chemical equation. You should write light energy, chlorophyll, and all the component. Each component is necessary for getting full mark. You should learn the only equation. One more equation is also there. Equation of the photolysis also there. Only 2 equations. So it is very one important one. You should study it properly. Then overall summary of chemical equation we learned. Then which single substance in the above equation is repeated in raw material as well as reproduce as an end product? Only the water molecule. It is the raw material as well as the end product. What is the source of oxygen released during photosynthesis? Water is the source of oxygen. Then what happens in photosynthesis? Splitting up of water molecule into hydrogen, oxygen and electron. That is happening in the photolysis. Then dark reaction involve utilization of carbon dioxide in producing glucose. Why is this phase called the dark reaction? It is not using the sunlight, but it is occurring alternatively with the light and dark reaction occur simultaneously. It is only not using the light. That is why it is called as dark reaction. Then glucose produced during photosynthesis is soon polymerized into starch. What does polymerization mean? Several glucose molecules form a chain of bigger molecule of starch. That process is polymerization. കെമിസ്ട്രിയിൽ നിങ്ങൾ പോളിമറൈസേഷൻ പഠിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ഒരുപാട് മോളിക്യൂൾ അറ്റാച്ച് ചെയ്ത് വലിയ മോളിക്യൂൾ ഉണ്ടാകുമ്പോഴാണ് അതിന് പോളിമറൈസേഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. Then why is it better to call the dark phase of photosynthesis as light independent phase? It is not taking place in the darkness but only not using the light energy. That is why it is called a light independent phase. All of you should write these answers in your textbook. Today itself you should do it. How do the following favor increased photosynthesis? Large surface area of the leaf, because maximum absorption of sunlight is possible. Then thinness of the leaf. On page 72, explanation of these answers are there. Below this answer, the thinness of a leaf so that exchange of gases, etc. are easy for the plant. More numerous stomata. Stomata is also helpful in absorbing carbon dioxide. So, the explanation is page number 72. You should refer it. Name the 3 end products of photosynthesis and mention the fate of each of them in the plant. Page 72. End products ഏതൊക്കെയാണ്? Glucose. That may be, what is the fate of the glucose? That may be either used by the plant or stored as starch. Glucose ഒന്നെങ്കിൽ സ്റ്റോർ ചെയ്യും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പ്ലാന്റ് ഉപയോഗിക്കും. വാട്ടർ that may be reutilized to continue the reaction. Then oxygen will be released out or used for respiration. Oxygen that is produced during photosynthesis either used by the plant or released out. Then if we keep on increasing carbon dioxide concentration in the air, will the rate of photosynthesis also keep on increasing direct proportion? Page number 73. The answer is there. If after a certain level the rate of photosynthesis becomes stabilized. Answer explanation of this answer is present in the page number 73. If it is possible, you must write the answer. Otherwise, during the exam time, you will not be able to write it properly. The answer is this one. After certain level of rate of photosynthesis become stabilized. Then you look the next progress check. Why is it necessary to destarch the leaves of the plant before performing an experiment on photosynthesis? To prove the conditions necessary for photosynthesis, to prove the presence of starch in the that starch produced, the remaining part is here. Starch produced must be new in the provided experimental setup. That is why completely the plant is destarched, because the starch produced must be new in the provided experimental setup. Why do we perform the iodine test? To prove the presence of starch. If starch is present, that will turn into blue-black. What is the chemical do you use to remove carbon dioxide from inside a flask in certain experiment on photosynthesis? KOH. All food chain that start with a plant. Why is this so? Plants are green. Plants are the producers. They can only trap the light energy. Then the honey bee produces honey. In terms of the food chain, is the honey bee a producer or a consumer? Honey bee is really a consumer. It collects nectar from the flowers. Nectar is produced by the flowers. By collecting it, they change it into honey. That is why the honey bee, we consider it as only as a consumer. It is on page number 77, this question. Then you see the review question. The production of starch of photosynthesis in leaves, because glucose formed in photosynthesis soon get the production of starch and not glucose is often used as the measure of photosynthesis in leaves, because glucose formed in the photosynthesis soon gets converted into starch. Then the number of water molecule required in the chemical reaction to produce 1 molecule of glucose during photosynthesis, that is 12. Then the rate of photosynthesis is not affected by the humidity, light intensity, temperature, carbon dioxide, everything will be affecting photosynthesis. Then chlorophyll in a leaf is required for trapping the light energy. If the rate of transpiration become more than the rate of photosynthesis, plant will stop growing and dying gradually of starvation.